On today's episode of Watch Chair Go, we are here in the truck. Josh is here with me, and we're going to get a very rare, very special Corvette. I'm pumped. This is one of those Grail cars that you keep forever. What is going on, guys? I am Watch Chair Go, and today I'm here with Dax. And what was his 2004 Z06 Corvette. What's up, dude?
What's up?
Thanks for selling me this thing.
Oh, thanks for buying it.
It looks like it's been hanging out in here for a while.
Yeah.
I heard you hadn't driven it in a little while, yeah. So this is one of those cars that's unbelievable. Again, no words for this. This was Procharger's development car for the platform. Magazine cover. Previously featured in Vette magazine. You can see the Procharger hanging out in there. I mean, it's absolutely crazy.
Get the dust off.
Yeah, I know, right? Power Tour in 17. What a car. And it's sitting here with, obviously one of my good friends' greatest car ever. I mean, this is just out of control. This is the A&A kit with a Vortec and meth injection. It's insane. But I had to buy the twin. This thing's incredible, and I plan on keeping this one forever. This is like one of those lifers, I think.
I think so.
Unless you want it back or something. Let me know. But.
I'll let you know if I do, but
okay.
I plan on it.
All right. Well, I already gave him the money, so we're here to just pick this thing up and take it for the first drive. I've never driven it or started it or anything, but I know that if it was in here, it's been taken care of correctly. And I don't even remember most of the mods other than like Procharge, booster pump, aeromotive rails, MGW shifter.
It's got an exhaust on it. I don't remember what one, but it's loud.
And a built transmission already.
Yes.
And a twin disc or something.
Something like that.
It's
on that receipt I gave you.
Okay.
It has the list. I think it's on that one.
Nasty clutch. Yeah. So that's probably most of it. Let's see if we can see what the exhaust is. It might say.
It's pretty nice. I got it from somebody at work.
Oh, okay.
And he had a nice car like this, so.
That does look super nice.
But it's loud. At least to me, I think it's loud.
Here, you want to start it up? Whoever. I don't care. Oof, I want to hear it.
You start it.
All right, here. We got a cobalt fuel pressure gauge here, 70 pounds of fuel. There's our boost gauge. The Z06 gauges are beautiful in this. Excellent oil pressure. Heads-up display that works, which is pretty cool. Unlike cheap Vette. Kenwood head unit with some Bluetooth, 6-speed. The magazine that it was the cover of, 600 horsepower. Well, let's get this thing out of here. It's time to drive it for the first time. We just got back to the warehouse. I drove it. It drives amazing. The air conditioning, everything works. Radio, Bluetooth, AC, like that's crazy. And being a 38,000 mile car, the suspension's perfect. The seats feel incredible. I mean, this is one of the newest cars I've ever owned. I think it might be the newest, or at least used car I've ever owned. And
sounds good.
It sounds good. It drives like it's stock, which is amazing. Just nice, buttery shifts. I'm mind blown. I'm also messaging my guy at Procharger right now, and I was like, apparently this was your development car. I just want to make sure. And he's like, yep, pretty sure that's the one. I was like, yes, that's amazing. The car Procharger developed their stage 2 supercharger kit on. There goes the auto air doing its magic. Cold air. Oh, it's so good.
Very cold air.
Very cold air. I am in love. The tires, it's been sitting for so long, the tires are just gone. Like fully dry rotted around the edges. So step 1 is going to be tires, I think. And
pop pops?
Apparently.
Burbles.
Apparently it's got the pop pops. I mean, everything looks great. This thing is nice. And somebody put the cup holder in it, which is kind of nice too. Because they only have that cup holder, of course. Look at that, it's got the rubber insert. I don't think I've ever seen a car with the rubber insert. That's wild.
Definitely baby.
Yeah, it was. Garage kept its whole life. Like, this is just nice. Manual, of course.
Just bought a new car.
A new car for way less than it cost new, that's for sure.
And I'm sure that's an upgraded clutch, but it drives like a stock
That
car.
clutch feels great.
It does.
I wish I had that clutch in everything that had power. It's perfect. The Atom is horrible, and the GTR is really bad too. And they make the same power level. All of them do. I mean, none of the text is worn off the buttons yet.
The flush buttons.
Yes, yes.
Why didn't GM do that in all their cars?
Oh, they're so nice.
Especially the trucks, to keep dirt and stuff out of there.
Yeah. I've had my old one got a little wet one time. The windows were down in the rain, not like really wet, but they're fine. There's no water ingress on those buttons. It's the best design.
Everything's all rubbery. Does that do the Ferrari thing?
It does not.
Nice.
These do not sticky button.
Nice.
Even when they're beat. The Z06 is in the shop now. Gabe's here with me and we just pulled the wheels off it. Now it's time to take these wheels that had tires from 2012 on them. Those tires were junk. They were starting to dry rot around the sidewall, and go put some new Nittos on there because we need sticky tires to hook up. Neato. We already loaded them in the truck. Let's get over to the tire store, get these wheels inside. This car is just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Look at this. Look at this. Everything's painted. It's all perfect. Oh, EBC red stuff, ceramic pads. Oh, what a W. Every bushing is perfect.
I can't form words right now.
No, there are no
I'm
words
just in awe.
It's the straight up like ultimate unicorn. The Procharger development car with no miles on it. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Honestly, one of my favorite cars. C5 manuals are really, really, really good. And this is, of course, a 6-speed manual with 38,000 miles on it. It's like a brand new car. One of the nicest C5s I've ever driven in my life. And it's mind-blowing to own this, have it in the shop, especially one with crazy heritage. The cover of Vette magazine, like I showed you guys, always kept inside. You can see from the car, the suspension, never really driven in rain. Absolutely insane. And like the paint needs some help, but that's about it. I mean, the paint is still like epically thick, but it was cleaned with like a California duster. And I mean, you know how that goes. So obviously one of the things on the to-do list for this week is to get it cleaned up, detail it, paint correction, and ceramic coat it so we don't ever have any more problems like that in the future, basically. But first, let's take you on a tour of this beast. Let me get the hood open. Well, we can start inside because the door's right here, but pretty simple. You know, everything's in perfect condition. Memory seats, the one-touch auto on the windows, everything works perfectly. The print is on every single button in the car. The only thing I really do want to change in here is that head unit that needs to leave because first, you can't read it in the daytime, and second, it just doesn't look right in the interior. It has the 200-mile-an-hour Z06 cluster that is checkerboarded inside. The Z06 stitching in the seats, which looks really cool. The back has nothing back there but a drying towel basically and paperwork, so just absolutely epic shape. And I kind of like to change these gauges to something else too. They sort of match, but I think they could be better. I think we can do something really wild. Dual climate control, all the features we know and love about the C5 I've covered in cheap C5. Things like you know, reading the codes out on the dash, and you can program everything from the dash, TPMS sensors, remotes. It's just one of the most, you know, user-friendly, tech-friendly cars that ever existed. Consumer-friendly even, because you don't need a tech to do half the stuff on this. The windows aren't tinted. Like, that's how nice and new this car is. Of course, we already have the wheels off because they're getting the new tires right now. I'm gonna put a few miles on this thing. I do want to drive it, at least one good drive. But under the hood, just insanity here. We have all of the dream stuff. So a Procharger P1 SC with the plastic still on the label plate right there, and green belt. I think we mentioned that. Everything else is pretty much stock except for the fuel system. It has a booster pump. It has aeromotive rails with this you know, fuel pressure sensor over there, a T out to the rails, and some huge fuel line that might be a little unnecessary for the fueling this thing needs. An LS6 label slapped on the throttle body there, and then all the Procharger stuff. The intercooler sits down in here, so we have the air intake into the Century. And then of course the boost pipe goes down there, up through the intercooler and into the engine. So, I mean, it's basically like stock looking, just looks like an extra alternator, right? And it just works great. This is one of the best cars I've ever driven that's wildly modded. It will go down the street like idling in sixth, basically, which is incredible for a highly modded car. Like usually nothing gets tuned to this level. They tune the wide open throttle and then they say you're on your own with drivability. This car has drivability. It makes you just endlessly happy to drive. This is kind of weird. Something in the coil harness has been patched up right there. That's not normal. Interesting, interesting. I don't know what it is. It's just kind of weird. They needed to be able to disconnect that. Oh, it might be for ignition signal on the dyno or something like that. That would make sense.
That makes sense.
Somebody was, it might be number one. Somebody was tuning properly.
I like it. I'm actually really pleased. Like, I love modded cars and everything, but I like it when it looks like it belongs.
Right. Looks right.
You know, and if it looks like it came from the factory like this, and this does.
It's the kit. It is the kit. So, really, really cool. Perfect. The Z06 does have the actual brake ducts. A lot of people run fake ones. You'll see base models with these and they just stick them on, right? The actual Zs have this big, beautiful brake duct right there. Pulls air in from outside and helps cool the brakes for your high performance driving. I guess I could put brake lines on it because it does have rubber brake lines. It'd be nice to have the Goodriches on there. Probably a good mod to help those brakes feel even better. Let's lift this thing up. It's already on the lift. My finger is on the button. You're supposed to say, push the button. Oh, that's why the exhaust is loud. There's not one. It's just straight piped. They offered me another exhaust if I want to quiet it down. But this is crazy clean. You can see this exhaust has never been in the rain. Look at the welds.
It's impressive.
That is crazy. Look at that. Have you ever seen one where you could read the labels and all the barcodes were perfect?
Wow. Holy cow.
Yes.
Dude, I don't think this thing's ever been into a car wash.
I took it to a car wash.
Well, then you'd have been the first because everything else is like hand detailed on here, and
I mean the rubber on all your bushings, everything. I mean sway bars, everything is.
You're not kidding.
Perfect.
Look at this. Look at the torque tube has all the labels and they're all visible.
oh my gosh,
This is crazy. This is not something you see.
wow.
The O2s appear to be factory. Ooh, it looks like it has all the clutch sauce. Yeah, man. With all these braided lines, I'm pretty sure it has the clutch fixes in it. The front. I mean, the back was just cool, right? Everything was perfect. Every label's visible. Every bushing is flawless. There's no cracking. And then we got to the front, and whoever did this spent all of the money and did everything right. It's unbelievable. So take a look. We're going to start right here. You can see we already have the ATI Super Damper, which is the balancer you want because these balancers always go bad and then they start to like wear out the front seal and they wipe all that out. This one's already fixed. We have this oil line, which is, we think, coming out of it's tapped into the top of the oil filter housing. And there's a nice thermocouple in there for reading like real temps when it actually matters, or data logging them. Super sick. This is the Supercharger oil drain, and it's just zip tied up there because you cut that zip tie all the time and drain the oil because it's a self-contained supercharger. So it doesn't have any additional cooling. It doesn't use the engine oil or anything like that. So it just kind of running in its own oil all the time. So as you know, a normal maintenance wear item, you swap out that oil a lot more than you would on a stock, like an Eaton blower on a stock supercharged car. Here's the blow-off valve for the Procharger, which is actually a really nice unit. It's the upgraded one, so that's very cool to see. And it has dual intercoolers. So the boost comes, amazing. Yeah, here's our charge pipe right here. And then it splits out to an intercooler that's in each side and cools through the big holes in the front end. And then the boost comes back out of those intercoolers up through the Y pipe back into the engine. And this is a custom built air dam, which is like horse mat kind of, and it's the perfect air dam. They mounted it really nicely with all stainless hardware, and when it wears out, you can just swap it out again. It's so much better than the plastic one. So it's got a nice little knife edge on it. That all works out really, really well. I mean, somebody went in. I mean, Procharger they're the ones that went in, but they did everything so well. I am in love. I can't tell you how great this thing is to see and own. Unbelievable. The front tires are also trash. They're so old, but they're not cracking yet. I think they're actually older, if I remember right. These might be dated 2010. Listen to those bearings. Isn't that nuts? Like no noise. Little brake drag over there, but like it's perfect. I think that's it. I think that is our walkthrough. Hopefully we get the oil changed and all of the new mods. Just a few little improvements to some airflow into this engine, and hopefully that's all wrapped up this week. And we're ready to go to LS Fest in just a few days. We have about 4 days to have all this done. It has to be paint corrected. All the new sauce needs to go on. The tires had to get done today because obviously we're running out of time. I'd like to lower it about a ½ inch at least, which I think we have plenty of room. Yeah, there's plenty of room on the bolts. We could definitely lower this thing a little bit there, 4 threads or something like that. That might give me a ¼ inch, ½ inch, and that should make it look slightly less monster truck on the road and having fun at LS Fest. So anyway, I mostly bought this for that, but it's also a car that I've known about. It's been hiding in that garage for years now, and one of those things where you see it and you're like, if that's ever for sale, I want it. They told me what the price was. I didn't ask any questions. I brought them a check. Like, there was no debating it. I think it's worth probably 10 more than I paid, and it's a crazy piece of Corvette history. Anyway, that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop.watchgrgo.com where you can get cool shirts just like this, and please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time. Have you ever seen a stock exhaust with like no rust? Bolts that will, every single bolt will come out of this thing. This is the exact opposite of $5,000 Corvette. On that thing, the bolts are always breaking and like everything's beat. This car is like...
I'm really without words. I mean, just looking at everything, every bushing, every bolt, everything is...
Showroom floor, baby. Showroom.
I mean, the cobwebs. We expect to find cobwebs on, you know, stuff that's been sitting for a while and it's all nasty. And the cobwebs are honestly the dirtiest thing here.
They are, and we're gonna clean this thing up. It's gonna be ready to roll. The Procharger Holly car in Holly's booth at LS Fest. Come hang. I'll be there all weekend.
I can't wait to start on this.